Welcome in, everybody, and Happy New Year. It's the Coach Matthew Mitchell Show. I am your host, Coach Matthew Mitchell. And we are here, folks. We are into the new year 2025. Can you believe it? What happened to 2024? Well, if you listened to last week's podcast, I hope you know a lot about what happened in 2024 because I suggested and coached you to reflect on 2024 and all of your successes. And if you didn't do that and you're listening to us for the first time, you still have time to go back and listen to that. Go back and still take some time to celebrate all your successes and everything you learned in 2024. But we are now here on New Year's Day. I have to confess, I am not recording on New Year's Day. It is before New Year's Day, but you will be listening to this, and I am excited to move into the new year with you and all of our Winning Tools friends and Ready to Win friends. 2024 was an awesome year for us. We were able to release a USA Today bestseller, Ready to Win, How Great Leaders Succeed Through Preparation, and how important is preparation right now on January 1. I have great memories of the first of the year. I was talking last week about all our traditions around Christmas and Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. And then we had some similar traditions around January the 1st. Another day of church on January the 1st to get the year kicked off. And then we would watch bowl games. It used to be the Rose Bowl parade. Does anybody remember that? Am I just telling my age now? And do you remember the Rose Bowl parade? Do you have any recollection? My incredible producer here is in the room. Do you have any idea what the Rose Bowl parade is? Have you ever heard of the Rose Bowl parade, Megan Wycheck? She feels like she's heard of it, but she doesn't know. And so that is I don't even know if they had the Rose Bowl parade anymore because I don't know if the Rose Bowl is even played on January 1st anymore. But anyhow, we'd go watch. It's in Pasadena, California. Beautiful Pasadena. We'd watch the Rose Bowl parade. Always watch the Cotton Bowl. They still play the Cotton Bowl. They still play the Rose Bowl. I just don't know if they play those on January the 1st anymore. But that was always fun. It's also the 25th anniversary of Y2K. Megan, do you remember Y2K? Okay, so Y2K was in 1999 at midnight. The computers were not going to be able to switch over to 2000. None of the banks were going to be able to switch over, and civilization was going to come to an end on New Year's Eve, 1999. And I can remember that was when I was working at the University of Tennessee for Pat Summitt. And Coach Summitt, she was one of a kind. She had a New Year's Eve party on December 31st, but also had practice early on January the 1st to keep the players in line. So I can remember I went in early that night on December 31st. I was staying in some student housing, graduate student housing, Andy Holt dorm in Knoxville, University of Tennessee, and will never forget, had maybe an 18-inch TV. It was color TV, but I can remember watching that little TV. Dick Clark's rocking New Year's Eve, and everybody was waiting for the ball to drop. We thought it might explode. We thought all the television stations would go off the air, and it just the world may descend into chaos. And as we all know now, Megan doesn't even know what Y2K was. So obviously nothing, descended into chaos. And so it was still pretty chaotic down in Times Square. Can you imagine being in Times Square on New Year's Eve? They're down there wearing diapers and everything else so they can stand outside and watch the ball drop so they can't get to the facilities. I mean, it is a scene down there. I don't know if it's 1 million people or what, but that is not real interesting to me. But God bless those people. They are dedicated to a good party and watching the ball drop. And so that's a memory I have of 25 years ago. It cannot believe how fast time has flown. And I've learned a lot. I was at the very beginning of my leadership journey and leadership career in the early stages there, and learned a lot from Coach Summit. And, so many people now talk about January the 1st, and a lot of let me say this. Many years ago, January 1st was an exciting day, and people were thinking about New Year's resolutions and what they wanted to do, and it was new hope for the new year. And now, I don't know if you experience this, but it's almost every article you read is about how people make resolutions and then break resolutions. And I was looking at some of these stats before I recorded today, and a lot of negativity, it almost seems like, around January the 1st, or talking about how people don't follow through with their resolutions, and it's just sort of negative. 80% of people are done before January 20th with resolutions, and 60% don't even make it 10 days or something. It's all of these negative things. Only 4%, I saw this today, only 4% of the people that make New Year's resolutions follow through and accomplish that until December 31st. And so what I wanted to do on January the 1st is I want to encourage you to embrace consistency and let go of perfection and unrealistic expectations. And what we're going to do today is we're going to give you some information and some content on building habits that will help you win in 2025. Ready to Win in our book is all about preparation, that hit the USA Today bestseller back in December or late November. But it's Ready to Win: How Great Leaders Succeed Through Preparation. And we are going to help you build some habits here in January that's going to get you set up for success in the rest of the year. And so how are we going to do that? Instead of worrying about December 1st, and hey, maybe you stayed out late last night and you're not feeling all that great today and you're kind of worn out and tired. It's Wednesday. I'm going to give you the rest of the week to get yourself prepared, because on Monday, January the 6th, we are going to start out, and we're going to let you have the opportunity to join us on our 20-day habit builder, our Ready to Win challenge, where we're going to take 20 days in January and build habits. And so instead of trying to go 31 for 31 in January, we're just going to try to take 20 days out of that. That's 64% of the days. We're going to try and build great habits, and we're going to give you a framework for that. So our third episode of the Coach Matthew Mitchell Show, we talk about the 5 areas of life that we want to be prepared in. And we touched on it last week in the Christmas show, and you can go back and listen to both of those. But what we talk about is there's 5 areas of life where we need to show up daily, and we need to prepare daily, and we need to invest in our life daily in these 5 areas. And so I am a big believer in strengthening and feeding my spirit. You hear a term all the time: that person's in good spirits, they're in poor spirits, they're low in spirit, they are downtrodden in spirit, they are very, very high in their spirit. Our spirit is that part of our life where we sense that spark of the divine, no matter where you are on your spectrum of spirituality. I really believe that it's so important to pay attention to that part of your life and to examine that part of your life. And so that's the first area, because when my spirit is strong, I can be there for my family. It helps me put my family in proper perspective. It helps me treat my fellow human beings with properly. It helps my outlook on life. It helps my belief, my strength of belief, my faith, all of those things. That's built by nourishing, feeding my spirit, paying attention to that, preparation in that area. The second thing we talk about is our emotions. How are we feeling? How are we feeling about how life is coming at us? How are we feeling about our relationship with ourselves? How do we talk to ourselves? How do we interact with our thoughts and our feelings? And those are our emotions, and how does that impact our relationships with our family, with our team members, with just people in society? And so it's very, very important that we are prepared to strengthen our emotions, spend time thinking about that, spend time investing in functioning emotional health instead of dysfunctional emotional health. And that takes some preparation and some thought. And that's an area that we need to think about and pay attention to and strengthen every single day. So we have to be prepared in that area of our life. The third is our physical world, our physical body, our health, our strength, our fitness, our nutrition. How are we prepared to get the most out of our health? Remember this, as a leader or a performer or anybody who's trying to move forward and grow, if we are depleted physically, if we are sick and tired and low energy, or if we have to go home sick and lay in the bed for 3 days because we're run down, we haven't taken care of ourselves, our physical being, our physical presence in the world is so important, and we have to prepare in that realm in order to get the most out of our life. So that's the third spot. So after those three things, now we turn our attention to where we'll spend most of our time. And that's in our professional or our vocational pursuit, whatever we're doing in life to move our life forward professionally, vocationally. It doesn't matter what profession you're in, how you are contributing to your family's financial success. That is a very important part of our lives. That's something we have to pay attention to. That's something we have to be prepared for. And that's where we're going to most likely, for most people, and probably most people listening to this podcast, are not retired and have no responsibility professionally, and you have some responsibility. And so how do we feed that? How do we prepare for that? That's that fourth realm of preparation and investment, is our professional competencies. And then the fifth one is really looking inward and fueling our fun, fueling our leisure time. And that may be a fraction, and it will be more than likely when you are high achieving, high aspiration, high performance, high productive person. Your fun and leisure is going to be a fraction of time as it relates to what your professional pursuit is. But let me tell you, it is so valuable and so important for you to pay attention to this area of your life. These 5 areas: spirit, emotion, physical, professional, fun. We are going to do a 20-day habit builder ready to win challenge, and this is how it's going to be. Starting on the 6th of January, we're going to have 4 weeks, 4 5-day work weeks that we're going to challenge you to invest a fraction of your time into preparation and investment in these areas. All right, so are we ready to go? Do you want to see how this works? So each week, each work week, 5 24-hour periods. 5 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Are you glad I reviewed that with you? Or you probably need that review. Those are the 5 days of the week. And then also, this also could work for you if you have different days of the week. But most of us work 5 days a week. Out of those 25 periods, 24 times 5, that adds up to how many hours? 120 hours. All right? You with me? Write that down. 120 hours. Or just keep it going in your mind. It doesn't matter to me either way. But writing it down so you can see it might be helpful. So out of those 120 hours, let's say that you are a fortunate person and you're able to sleep 8 hours a day. Let's just keep the math simple, all right? And you'll be able to adjust if you say, "Hey, listen, Coach, I only sleep 6 hours a night." Good for you. You're gonna have even more time at the end of this, and it'll all make sense. So that's 8 hours a night, 5 days. So that's 40 hours of sleep. And so now that reduces our available time to 80 hours. All right. So let's say that you are working in a sort of typical framework of around 8 hours a day. So let's take off another 40 hours from that 80. And so what are you left with? You're left with 40 hours a week of time that you need to get other things done. And so we all have different responsibilities outside of sleeping and outside of working. But what I want you to do is I want to show you how you can invest just a fraction of that remaining 40 hours and invest that in yourself. And if you will complete this 20-day challenge, I can't wait for us to gather up again and see where the difference is. And listen, if you do this challenge and you get to the end of it and say, "Hey, listen, this is a bunch of garbage," then God bless you. You'll just have to move on. But I'm telling you, what happens so many times to us is when we neglect these 5 areas and we don't invest time in these 5 areas. The reason is we're not prepared, and we make excuses that we are not able to address these 5 areas because we don't have time. And this is what the challenge is all about. I want to help you see that you do have time when you get ready to win using preparation. So it's very, very simple. Every day, this is how I want you to work the challenge. So to start our day, I want you to spend 20 minutes on the first 2 areas on our list. I want you to spend 10 minutes on your spirit. So how does that look for you? How do you help yourself spiritually? So for me, I read scripture, I pray, and I spend time on that. And if I want to boost my spirit and strengthen my spirit, I get up early in the morning, and the first thing I engage, maybe get a nice warm drink, cup of coffee or hot tea, and then get in a quiet place. I have an office at the house, and sometimes I'll go up to the office, or we have a great backyard that when the weather's nice, I might turn the fire pit on and do that. But I get into a quiet place, and I spend time and invest time on my spirit. I want you to spend 10 minutes on that. And then after that, I want you to check in with your emotions, and I want you to give yourself the opportunity to either spend some time boosting your emotions. While you could read a book. I've said before, and in Ready to Win, I talk about how we can really pay attention to our emotions. We can read a book. We can talk positively to ourselves. We can really go through an exercise of honesty, of self-honesty, of we are strong enough. We have a track record. We have accomplished things before. We can do it again. We can check in. Are we angry? Are we irritable? Are we tired? Where are we? But investing in our emotions and making sure that we're trying to strengthen those early in the day. So that first allocation of time is going to be 10 minutes a day, 5 days a week. And I really, listen, you can do this however you want to, but I'm telling you, if you'll follow this the way that I'm telling you to follow it, it's going to give you a greater chance to put it on your calendar, commit to it, and then execute it. Be honest with what you need to do, make a plan, and hard work your way through it, give effort to make the plan, and then execute and be consistent, and that's discipline. And so it'll be much easier on you if you just commit it to the way you do it. And then after 20 days, you say, hey, listen, I have a better way to do it. No hard feelings, but I'm telling you, this is the way to get this done. All right. The other thing that we're going to do 10 minutes a day, every day, all 5 days, is we're going to invest in our professional competency. We're going to build confidence and build strength in what we can do as a professional by increasing our competency, by engaging some source of knowledge that can help us improve over a week and short period of time. So it might be reading a leadership book. It may be reading a book so that leadership book is helping you be a more effective manager, more effective leader in your department, more effective leader for your business. You might read something that's on an emerging technology or cutting edge technology or a new technique. Or you might be reading something on some success that someone in your industry is having. But you're going to do this for 10 minutes. And here's the formula for this 10 minutes of professional investment in your professional competency or your skills. And that's 10 minutes either before, after, or before. 10 minutes before you take your break for lunch, or the first 10 minutes right after lunch, or 10 minutes before you head out for the day, or 10 minutes before you wind down and shut down for the day. Find one of those 10-minute periods in your workday and invest in your professional life. Make some time, prepare, and it will be incredible over that 20-day period how much you will have ended up investing in your professional development. So those three things, we're going to do 10 minutes a day, every day, every work day of the week. Two of the areas we're going to do 3 days a week. So let's talk about our fitness, our physical body. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to pick out some way to move your body 3 times a week for 30 minutes. For 30 minutes, 3 times a week. And I want you to do this on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And that's I just want you to slide it in. Now, there's a lot of you out there right now that are probably already rebelling and saying, Coach, you have too many rules. So I'm gonna give you a little break here. I will let you get that movement planned for Thursday if you'd rather do the Thursday session instead of the Friday session, but Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or possibly Thursday. But that's 30 minutes, 3 times a week. All right? Now, the other thing, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we're going to spend 10 minutes focused on fun. And this is the kind of fun that I want you to do. I don't want you to get on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook and say that that's going to be your fun time, and all you're doing is comparing yourself to everybody else's perfect life that they have on Instagram, which is not perfect. It's just a snapshot, and maybe you don't know that, but you probably do. That's just that brings in that feeling, that negative feeling of comparison, of people have it better than I do, and we try to trick ourselves into thinking that, compare ourselves to people that have more. We don't ever compare ourselves to people who have less. And so that's not the kind of fun. This is the kind of fun I'm talking about. 10 minutes of going on Zillow and thinking about the next house that you want to buy and making plans for that. Or planning your next great vacation, or planning vacations for the next 10 years that you might want to take. And just dreaming, taking some time to dream and have some fun, because that's actually going to be some time that really motivates you, that can focus you in and say, hey, if I want to take a vacation to Italy and take a 2-week vacation to Italy someday, take some time. It's so much fun to plan that, but it also can motivate you. This is what I'm going to have to do professionally to make sure that I'm able to do that. Or you can listen to your favorite comedian, or you can listen to your favorite podcast. One of my favorite podcasts is College Football Inquirer. I just have so much fun. The guys are so entertaining. Dan Wetzel, Ross Dellinger, Pat Forty, they talk about college football, but it is so entertaining, so funny, and it just lifts my spirit, and it's just fun. I don't have to think about work. I don't have to think about anything that might be challenging or stressful. I can just listen to them and just sort of escape and have some fun. They make me laugh. It's fantastic. So however you do that, maybe play a video game, whatever that is. Read a book. Read read a fiction book that brings you pleasure, whatever that may be. But 10 minutes 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, scheduling that in, that's going to connect you back to moving your life forward. All right? So have some fun. Let it inspire you. And we're going to do that. So now you might be saying, well, that all sounds great, but I don't have time. I don't have time to do that. Well, this is what I want you to know. If you do all of that, that will take you over the course of 5 days. You will have invested 4.5 hours in preparing yourself in 5 critical areas of life. Let me say that again. You will have invested 4.5 hours in the 5 critical areas where we need to grow, and we need to be prepared, and we need to be strong. And so that is only 11.25% of that remaining 40 hours. You will still have 7 hours a day to do other things, to get your chores done, to eat, to commute back and forth to work, to spend time with your kids, spend time with your family. 7 hours a day will be what you have left. And we're just going to round up the 4.5 to 5 hours, okay? 5 hours of personal development leaves you with 7 hours a day to do all the other things. And so if you will do this for 20 days, the 20-day Habit Builder Ready to Win Challenge, you are going to move through January with tremendous confidence, strength, and energy as you go into February. Instead of trying to commit to some unrealistic and difficult resolutions that we are just bombarded with statistics that won't come through and won't work for us, trying to be committed and consistent 64% of the time, 64% of the days in January, 5 days a week, 4.5 hours of investment in you. I'm telling you, this habit builder, this 20-day habit builder is going to change your life. And so we are going to drop a link in the show notes. Is that how I say that, Megan? We're gonna drop a link in the show notes of the podcast where you can access our free resource, our 20-day habit builder, our Ready to Win challenge, our 20-day habit builder challenge. And we've got a great resource here for you, free of charge. Just click the link and access that, and we will send that to you. And we will join up, and I will be checking in with you on that. We will be engaging with you on LinkedIn and Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, and you'll be able to find us there, and we'll be talking about it. I will be participating along with you. I can't wait to see how this helps you move forward using the winning tools, using the resources that we have and that we've developed for you to help you step into your full potential as a person, as a family member, a friend, a professional, a person who is navigating life in a very positive way. This 20-day habit builder, it's the ticket. It's going to help you. You'll also be able to find that at coachmatthewmitchell.com. We will have access for that there. We are speaking, doing keynote speeches. We're booking things right now in 2025. We've got some great engagements already on the calendar. We'd love to come speak to your organization or your event and bring some fun, some humor, some entertainment, but also some actionable items that move people forward with the winning tools. And we are putting on workshops. The Ready to Win workshop is a fantastic half day for you to spend with your team. What would it be like if your team was the most prepared team in your industry? What would that look like? What could you accomplish? Ask yourself that question. We have the formula for that. We have the blueprint for you and your team, for you as an individual player and then as a team to come together. We have the blueprint for you to be the most prepared person in your industry. That's Ready to Win. We've got the mastermind kicking off this month. We're bringing some great minds together, and we are going to grow professionally and personally. So the 2025 mastermind will be getting together in Lexington, Kentucky for some in-person events, but also we'll be encouraging you throughout the year with great leadership content, great personal growth content. So be ready to join us for that. But you can find all of that at coachmatthewmitchell.com. There's still some bulk book packages and that tie in with the Ready to Win workshop. That's readytowinbook.com. But we're just so excited for 2025. I'm so excited for you to invest in your growth and your preparation with this 20-day habit builder, our Ready to Win challenge. And I just can't wait for us to see the benefits of committing and investing in our growth in those 5 areas. It's going to make a big difference for you. Happy New Year. I forgot to mention one of the traditions was eating black-eyed peas. We called them Hoppin' John. I would love for you to message me on Instagram or LinkedIn and let me know if anybody else out there has ever heard of Hoppin' John. But it's some kind of, my grandmother would make it and had some kind of black-eyed peas, some concoction. But black-eyed peas are supposed to give you good luck on January the 1st, so if you can find some of those, go get that today. We also, for some reason, in Mississippi, we ate tamales on New Year's Day. I don't know if anybody else, Megan, did y'all eat tamales on New Year's Day? And, Megan and I are not syncing up much on much of the content today, but that's okay. We sync. We sync on the winning tools, baby. We sync on Ready to Win, and we're moving this company forward. But listen, we want to move you forward. Have a great New Year's Day. We are so full of hope. We're converting that hope into energy for the best year ever, 2025. It's all out there for us to go get. Let's go get it. And I'll see you back here next week on the Coach Matthew Mitchell Show. Thanks for joining, everybody. Happy New Year.